Namaskar. In my every video, I always give importance for good, controlled, conscious sense organs are always important for healthy body, stable mind and controlled emotions. If we want to have a healthy mind, then it starts from healthy neurons. Creation or generation of neurons and how we can have good memory from there. After that we can learning and training of these neurons, then qualification, then education, intelligence, knowledge, innovation, invention, then wisdom. These are the different steps where we can see our mind is evolving or our brain is evolving. So if anything we want within our body to be achieved in a natural way, then it will take time. Let's take an example. When we take our parents or our child along with us for a sun bath in front of sun rays, we will see that we are also getting an opportunity to take the sun bath along with them. Another thing is, if we want seeds to get sprouted, then it has to take its own time. We can only provide the ambience, the minimum requirement for the seed to grow. But the sprouting can happen only at its own phase, and that too naturally. So if we want anything to do naturally, it has two messages for us. That is, it is beneficial not only for us but for everybody, and it will take time. Ear. It is a very important sense organ and it has started developing right from our mother's womb around 7th week of pregnancy. When our mother was pregnant, at that time only the ear has started functioning, receiving data around the ambience from 16th week onwards. So it is the only sense organ which has started from mother's womb. We have already read in our ancient scriptures that Abhimanyu has already learnt about Chakravyu when Abhimanyu was there in his mother's womb. So how we can keep our ear healthy, and how through our ear our memories, our neurons, brain is getting more alert, more active. There are two natural processes. Let's take the first one. Conch shells, or in Hindi we call it as Shank. This is readily available almost in every house in India, and if we blow this conch shell, it is now proved by science also that it's resonant in a frequency of around 7 Hertz point something, which is equivalent to the same frequency by which our Mother Earth heart resonates. So Om also resonate in the same frequency like the conch shell. So it is very surprising that conch shell, which is spiral in nature, the cochlea, which is inside our ear, it is the innermost part of our ear, that is also spiral. So when we are blowing the conch shell, The frequency which is being produced by this conch shell, it is very healthy for the cochlea of our ear. So when we are blowing this conch shell, again we are using the same technique like long, deep, slow breathing. In ancient days, they have always taken this care that how in every techniques in our day-to-day life we can introduce this methodology of long, slow, deep breathing as a key to our focus increase. So when we start blowing the conch shell, we will take a long, slow, deep breathing. And then we will be focused on blowing the conch shell. But there will be an urge from the body that now I cannot exhale or I cannot inhale again, but I have put my body on a hold position. So there is a restrict on myself that I cannot inhale or exhale, and I am focused on my blowing. So once I am about to finish my blowing, again I will see that I am inhaling again and body has taken care of the exhalation. So this is a technique where we have done two things. One thing, we have blown the conch shell which has produced the frequency of Om or around 7 Hertz, which is good for cochlea, which is good for our blood circulation, for our heart. Our lungs are also becoming active. So one activity, but it is a utility based activity, and all our most important organs of our body like heart, lungs, cochlea of our ear, everything gets reverberates with this frequency. Now because it reverberates in that frequency, this generates good amount of neurons in our brain, and as we know, our ear can differentiate up to so many different kinds of frequencies of sounds. The more we differentiate between things, that much memory is being created in our brain. So for small children, if we want good memory, this is a small utility which we can help our child to learn, to practice, and then they can develop it as a habit. In India, it was a general protocol where every household used to blow this conch shell once in the morning and once in the evening. In Mahabharata, we have already seen Lord Krishna used to blow this conch shell before beginning of the war Kurukshetra. This is one perspective. Second perspective is Sanskrit. It is the mother of all languages. It is not only a mother of all languages, but it is the mother of all computer languages also. It is because of not any belief system. It is because of the different permutation and combinations of sound and oral cavity of a human being can produce. All those sounds are present in Sanskrit language. So if we take vocal cords as the 0 degree of a straight line and lips is the 180 degree, then there are certain points like palate point, top point of the oral cavity, one point behind the teeth. So these are the 5 points where when the air gushes from the lungs with all the 3 channels and with the tongue tips with different combinations of permutations and combinations, human can produce some sounds. Now these sounds with all possibilities are already being recorded in the Sanskrit language. That's why Sanskrit language is mother of all languages. That's why when in a Gurukula system, when the student was going to Gurukula system, the first thing what a child was learning was recitation of Rig Veda, because Rig Veda has around 1 lakh hymns. So there is a saying, or there is a folklore, or it is already mentioned in the ancient scripture, that first Shruti, then Smriti. So when we have good capacity of hearing or differentiating between sounds, it will create good amount of neurons in the brain, and and with the collection of neurons with some particular pattern can create good memory in our brain. So in this way we can introduce hymns to our children's life, where they can pronunciate all the hymns present in Rig Veda, so that by mere listening only they can have good memory capacity. That's why in olden days, like there was a tradition of by hearting or remembering the Rig Veda, because understanding at that small age is not possible. Only reciting, or we can say by hearting the hymns, can create good amount of good quality of neurons in their brain, by which they can have good memory. As we know, if a person is completely deaf, that means he cannot hear anything. The person cannot speak. So from here we know, if we have good speech, for that reason we need to have good memory, and we can have a healthy ear. For senior citizens, sometimes after certain age they try to forget few things. They slowly they become very sensitive to high frequency. So for them also, if they can practice these two things to their comfortable level, we can request them. If they feel so, then these two are very natural methods by which we can bring some changes or some positive changes in our children's life, or for the senior citizens. So these are the things which we have already there. It is mentioned in ancient texts. Internet is having all information. So today's era is not that we don't know anything. Everything is available. Only thing is we have to practice it. We have to bring it to our consciousness, and we have to have all the level of understanding, so that we can keep our body disease free, healthy and happy. Jai Bharat.